Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to TradeStation. My name is Michael Burke, and I want to thank you for joining us today. This is the second event of our new faster-paced webinar series, The Art of TradeStation, where we will be taking a look at some of the more unique and powerful features inside the TradeStation platform. Today's session is strategy backtesting without programming. We'll take a look at a strategy based on some of the built-in strategy components, some of the backtesting tools, and we'll do all of this without any easy language programming at all. So let's just do a little bit of housekeeping here. Can everybody hear me okay? Is the sound too loud, too scratchy? How's it sound? Okay, great. Thank you very much. If you have any trouble during the presentation, if you lose sound or the picture freezes, you can always click on the little X in the upper right-hand corner of the viewer. You can refresh the browser or log out, log back in. That'll usually fix it. So that's one way if you have any trouble. Keep in mind that the following presentation is for educational purposes only. All of the symbols and trading ideas discussed are for demonstration purposes and are not recommendations. Active trading is not suitable for everybody. I'm going to push the disclosure document into the chat, and you can find additional disclosure information on the TradeStation website. Just a couple quick notes. First, if you've not heard about Strategy Concepts Club, let me tell you a little bit about it. It is a premium monthly magazine published by TradeStation Labs. Each month explores 2 complete strategy ideas, from the development of the concept all the way through performance evaluation. This is a great study in the process of strategy backtesting. And it also comes with the Open Easy language code for each of the strategies each month. So you can modify those ideas or integrate them into your own trading. You can download a free issue of Strategy Concepts Club, and we'll push a link into the chat so you can download that here in a moment. And take a look and see if Strategy Concepts Club is a good fit for your trading and your growth as a trader. It's each issue is just really amazing work done by our TradeStation Labs team. Second, the next thing I want to talk about very quickly is Video Station. So today, Video Station was released to everyone. And you'll find it in your TradeStation platform in your trading app selector. And I'll show it to you here in a second when we go to TradeStation. Video Station is a tool that consolidates all of the educational content that we produce here at TradeStation, all the videos. So you can very easily find the exact educational video you're looking for. You can search by topic or by presenter. You can even register for upcoming webinars all within the app. And now it's automatically included with TradeStation. So it makes it very easy to access all of the videos. So if you miss an event, as you know, we archive every event that we do. This event will be archived and available in a couple of days in Video Station. So if you miss an event, or you want to review another event, or that you've already seen and you want to review it again, Video Station is the best way to find that video. So let's get started. Today our agenda is talking about the strategy components that are built into TradeStation that allow us to backtest some simple technical ideas and apply some entry and exit criteria to see how that idea would have performed on a particular symbol over a particular period of time on a particular interval. We'll also look a little bit at the strategy performance report, looking at some key performance measures. But this course is not a complete introduction to strategy trading, but rather a demonstration on how you can start using all of these great tools to help advance your trading. So for those of you who want to learn more about the strategy backtesting process and strategy development, my colleague Dan Dash, who is on the presentation with us, who's here to answer some questions during the presentation that I don't get to, he did a really great webinar series on an introduction to strategy trading, and we'll push that link for those webinars into the chat here in just a moment. And we'll also just briefly cover the topic of optimization at the very end today. So as I said, I'm joined by my colleague Stan Dash. We have a pretty good group today, and based on the principle that this is a quick 30-minute session, I'm going to ask you to hold most of your questions to the end. If you want to ask a question during the presentation, that's great. Either I'll get to it or Stan will answer it in the chat. But in any case, if you have a question, I'm going to push my email into the chat at the end. And any question that I did not address during this presentation, I'll be happy to address that question by email. So we'll make sure everybody's questions get answered. So let's get started. So just to make sure that we're all on the same page, let's define what a strategy is in TradeStation. A strategy is simply a historical tested set of rules for entering and exiting the market. Those rules can be simple or they can be complex. A strategy can have rules based on one indicator or pattern or market idea, or multiple indicators or patterns or market ideas. And what really sets a strategy apart from just looking at indicators is the ability to backtest, the ability to have a set of entry and exit rules and see what the monetary performance of that indicator would have been based on those rules. So why should you care about strategy trading? Well, strategy trading is a process. Testing strategies can offer a lot of important benefits to a trader. And it is part of our growth as a trader to understand how indicators and market data work together, how market action and indicators work together. And strategy backtesting is a great way to really explore those relationships. First, it can help you make better informed decisions. If you're trading an indicator, it's great to know how that indicator performed based on the way that you want to trade that indicator. By better understanding the behavior of indicators in relationship to the market action, we become more intuitive traders. A trading plan based on a set of historically tested trading rules can also help reduce our emotional trading decisions. So trading strategies are often part of your trading plan. And backtesting can help us identify and warn of potential risks and drawdowns for trading that idea. When you look at an indicator, a lot of times our eyes see what we want to see. So we see the indicator does this and the market goes up and we think, okay, that's how I want to trade it. But when you put rules around that and you put entries and exits together, you start seeing that actually taking profits out of that move is not so easy. And so you need to refine that exit criteria, not only to capture profits, but also to reduce risk. In order to build a strategy in TradeStation, we have to use one of these 4 order entry verbs. These are the language of easy language and strategy trading. And the components I'm going to show you have one of each of these order types built in. So each strategy component in TradeStation takes one trading action. It can buy and go long. It can sell short. You can sell to close a long position, or you can buy to cover to close a short position. So each strategy component is going to take one of these 4 actions. So just to cover this a little bit more in depth, the word buy and sell short have additional functionality. In addition to buying, which can either enter or add to a long position, a buy is actually also could be a reverse if the market or the strategy is short. So for example, if I'm short 500 shares of Apple and I have a strategy that generates an order to buy, what it's going to do is it's going to close those 500 shares of Apple short and then go long whatever number of shares I specify, let's say another 500 shares. So the word buy not only enters a long position, but it can close the short position and reverse. Sell short, exactly the same thing. If I am long and my strategy has a sell short rule, it will close that long position and then go short the number of shares specified. So very common to test a strategy that goes long, short, and I'll show you an example of that today inside of TradeStation. Let's look at an example inside of TradeStation. So on the screen, everybody should be able to see my screen now, my TradeStation. Can everybody see that okay? Perfect, thank you. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is VideoStation, and I'm going to show you how to access this. This is just been released to everybody. You don't have to have an upgrade or update your TradeStation platform. This is pushed automatically through the Trading App Store. And so here on the left, if I click on the Trading App selector, you'll notice now inside of your Trading App selector, inside of TradeStation, you'll find VideoStation. And so VideoStation now comes automatically with your TradeStation platform. You may have to log out and log back in. If you're currently logged into TradeStation, you may have to log out and log back in to see it, but that's where it is. And VideoStation has a number of playlists. You can sort and search videos based on what you're looking for, presenter, topic. You can see the upcoming events, see the last videos that were uploaded. So take a look at VideoStation. I think it'll make it very easy for you to define the educational content that we offer much more easily. So here's our strategy component example. This is a daily chart of Apple with the indicator displayed at the bottom. Also in the chart is a MACD strategy based on the concept and calculation as the indicator. Indicators are separate analysis techniques in TradeStation and have to be added separately. The strategy that we're looking at here it also includes a simple profit target and stop loss. But the strategy could also reverse in the event that we got a reversing before it hit the profit target or stop loss. You can see what strategies are applied to the chart here by going to Format, Strategy. So Format Strategy is the control center for the strategies that are applied to the chart. And here you can see that the strategy in the chart is made up of four components: the MACD long entry, the MACD short entry, the profit target, and the stop loss. We also have the inputs for each of those strategy components. So the inputs for the MACD are the same as the inputs for the indicator. And the profit target and stop loss, we have a 4-point profit target and a 2-point stop loss. So we'll come back to this in a moment. Built into TradeStation are dozens and dozens strategy components that you can mix and match to test just about any idea. Here I'm going to go to Insert Strategy. Here you can see the list of strategy components. And notice that each strategy has a code at the end after the name, which tells you what type of order that strategy is going to generate. So for example, LE stands for long entry, SE stands for short entry, LX stands for a long exit, and SX for a short exit. So those are the four building blocks we talked about before, and we can mix and match any idea into a strategy that we back this. So right now I'm using MACD with a profit target and stop loss, but you may want to look at a key reversal pattern and exit with a trailing stop or a moving average cross. And all we're going to do is reverse, go from long to short. So the strategies that you can test here can be very elegant. They can be made up of multiple entries and multiple exits, or it can be very simple, one entry and one exit. The thing to remember, though, is as you add these to the chart, they do not create complex conditions. In other words, if I add MACD and momentum, the MACD and momentum don't have to be true at the same time in order for it to generate an order. They actually operate independently. So MACD can generate and will generate an entry or an exit independently of the momentum indicator or the key reversal. And there's also money management techniques here for exiting. Profit targets, stop losses, trailing stops, even time exits where you're just testing an entry condition and then exiting after so many bars. So there's a lot of great tools here to test just about any idea. To select the tools that you want to trade, you can select. So in this case, we are testing MACD, long entry, short entry. I can highlight both of those at the same time. And I'm also going to select my profit target and stop loss. Here's the profit target and the stop loss. So by holding down the control key, I can select all four of the strategies that I want to test at once. If you want a definition, maybe you want to know how the rules for MACD long entry are calculated. You can click the definition button here in the insert strategy dialog. This will bring up the online help for TradeStation, and under the description you can see the rule for the strategy. This is how you'll know exactly what that rule is for any particular strategy here. Just click on definition. And if you want to take a look at the easy language code, you can do that as well. The next thing we want to talk about is evaluating our strategy. Well, to evaluate the performance of this MACD idea, it's first important to understand that the chart is the testing environment. It's the laboratory in which we're working. So in this case, we're looking at a daily chart of Apple over 5 years. So that is my environment. That is my backtesting laboratory. And I can try this strategy on multiple symbols simply by changing the symbol or by changing the bar interval from daily to weekly or from daily to 60 minutes. I can change the amount of historical data that I'm backtesting on. Here we're looking at 5 years, but we could, if we're day trading or we're looking at a shorter term strategy, maybe we only want to look at 3 months or 6 months. So the chart is the laboratory. The chart makes the analysis. And you can change these parameters to backtest any symbol in almost any market environment or price action. And of course, TradeStation, one of the benefits of TradeStation is that, we have one of the most extensive and accurate historical market price histories anywhere in the world. So this is what we do at TradeStation. So if you look through the chart here, you can see all the places where the MACD strategy would have entered and either exited with a profit target or stop loss. So here's a good example. You can see that MACD goes from positive to negative, we enter, and we hit our profit target. This is a short trade. Sometimes we hit our stop loss, sometimes we hit our profit target, sometimes the strategy will reverse. We can take a look at the performance of the strategy by going to View, Strategy Performance Report. Here TradeStation compiles all of the trades within the chart and gives us a comprehensive performance report. This is an equity curve, for example. I'm going to click on Performance Summary. And let's take a look at some of the key performance measures that you might want to take a look at to evaluate this particular strategy. Remember that the process of strategy development is a process of refinement. We are going to have an initial idea, and then we're going to refine that idea. We're going to refine that idea possibly by adjusting the input parameters. We may adjust the idea by changing the rules a little bit, maybe changing the interval in the chart. Maybe some symbol that we're looking at doesn't work with that idea. The price action isn't for that symbol isn't right. Maybe it's too volatile, not volatile enough. Maybe it's a trending type symbol like Apple. It's a symbol that goes sideways. So not every strategy is going to work on every symbol. You typically develop a strategy for a particular market, for a particular idea. So here, the performance is broken down into three columns. All trades, which is a combination of long trades and short trades, and you can see them separately. So in this case, over our 5 years, the strategy made 87 trades and about $4,500. Now we're trading 100 shares. So 87 trades times 100 shares, about, so that's going to be about $100. The commission on each trade is $1. So $1 in, $1 out. So maybe about $200 commission. So we can factor that into the performance if we want to as well. I'm not factoring it in here. I'm just doing it in my head that commissions are about $200 here. You can see that there were 44 long trades and 43 short trades. The reason I'm pointing that out is that you want to have a statistically relevant number of trades. If you have a strategy that only has 3 trades over 5 years, statistically that isn't a particularly good sample. So you want to have at least 30 long trades, 30 short trades. And you may have to add additional historical data to get up to those numbers. The percent profitable here is 42% overall. That may seem low, but again, as you develop strategies, you will learn that certain strategies, like trending strategies, typically have a lower percentage of winning trades. 40% is very typical for a successful trending strategy based on momentum or moving averages, or in this case, MACD. So every type of strategy, whether it's trending or counter-trending, will have characteristics that you want to look for in the performance report. And 40% for a trending strategy is actually normal. That's actually pretty good. And the reason that that's pretty good is if you look down a little bit farther in the list, if we look at average winning trade and average losing trade. In a trending strategy, the average winning trade is typically much higher than the average losing trade. So it makes up for the fact that it's not winning most of the time, but the winning trades are much bigger than the losing trades. And overall, our expectation of profit is going to be positive, and that's what we care about. I'm going to scroll down here just a little bit more. So one of the important performance measures that I look at when I'm developing a strategy is what's called the RENA index. The RENA index is actually a strategy score. The value of RENA index doesn't really mean anything, but the RENA index is used to compare one strategy to another strategy. It's a calculation that is based on the risk-reward of the strategy and the amount of time that the strategy is in the market, or your funds are at risk. And so when I'm comparing two strategies, maybe I'm comparing my MACD strategy on Apple to my MACD strategy on Microsoft, and they're both pretty close. The RENA index will tell me which one has the best risk-reward ratio for time in the market. And so it's a great tool for comparing one strategy backtest to another. And if you want to know how RENA is calculated, or you want to learn about any of the performance measures in the strategy performance report, you can simply click on the name of the performance measure, and you'll get a little help tip. And this will explain what the calculation is and what it means. So the question is, what is RENA? RENA doesn't really mean anything. It's the name of someone who was part of the team that was developing that calculation for us. So we were just looking for something to call it. So that's what that is. All right, so we're going to scroll down. The last performance measure that I want to talk about here is the drawdown. This is your risk related to your strategy. And so drawdown is calculated from the equity curve, and I'll demonstrate this here in a second, but but the formula for drawdown is the drawdown from an equity peak to the largest trough after that equity peak. And you can see that more effectively on the performance graph. So again, remember that all the values that you see here are the values for the backtest. So the reason we want to know what the drawdown was in the backtest is because this gives us an indication of what the potential risk could be on this idea trading forward. So let's say that we like this idea, we want to start trading this strategy. The drawdown tells us what we can expect to happen as we start trading forward. We can expect that sometime in the future we're going to have at least a $2,000 drawdown. And it's good to know that, because when that happens, you don't panic and you don't stop trading your strategy. So here's the performance graph. So this is a closed trade to closed trade equity curve. You don't see a lot of noise here. I'll show you a way to look at a detailed equity curve, which is bar by bar. But here, the drawdown is measured from one of these little green dots. These little green dots tell us that we've made a new equity peak during the backtest. So right here we have an equity peak, and then we have a drawdown. So that is our drawdown risk. So that's the largest drawdown risk during the backtest. Notice that we stayed below that equity peak all the way to about here where we had a new equity peak. So this is called being underwater. And so there are also graphs that measure how long a strategy is under an equity peak before it makes a new equity peak. The goal of a strategy is to make consistent equity peaks over time and to reduce the drawdown or the amount of time that we're under water or under an equity peak as much as possible. That's what we're looking for here in the equity curve. Here you can see a detailed bar by bar equity curve. It's the same data, except that now we're looking at a bar by bar. And remember, this is all great research for making decisions and thinking about trading forward. But this is just historical backtesting. There's no guarantee that this strategy is going to perform as equally well. It may perform better, but there certainly is no guarantee that it's going to do that. And so the process of testing and comparing strategies is not so that it can guarantee you what's going to happen in the future, but to give you more insight and visibility into your trading decisions. And it's showing you both the potential rewards and it's showing you the potential risks. So it makes you a much more informed trader. So I want to show you a couple of interesting features here in the format strategy dialog. So as I mentioned earlier, a strategy that buys or a strategy that sells short here in the strategy components, those words in easy language, buy and sell short, actually can generate two orders. It can generate the entry, but it can also generate an exit if it needs to reverse. So we can use that to our advantage here in the format strategy dialog. So for example, let's say that we wanted to test just the long MACD idea. So I want to test just going long MACD, but closing position when the MACD goes negative, when it goes zero. So, you know, right here in the format strategy dialog, I can adjust the rules of my strategy simply by turning off some components. So here I'm going to turn off the profit target and stop loss. And for the short entry for the MACD, instead of using that as an entry, I'm not going to turn it off, but I'm going to use it as an exit only. So notice that anytime you have an entry rule, the drop-down over here allows me to turn off the entry, or it allows me to use it as an exit only. So this is a very powerful tool. Now we're testing the long entry with just a short exit. I'm going to click close. And notice here that now we are entering MACD when it crosses above zero, and we're closing when it crosses below. There's no profit or no stop loss. We've turned those off. and it's not going short. It's just going long. So here I can go to View Strategy Performance Report, and now I can get a strategy performance of just the long trades and then exiting on the short. And so there's a lot of combinations here that you can try. You can try just long or just short. You can try long with a stop loss and let it run. There's lots of different ways that you can test your strategy here using the Format Strategy dialog. So the status over here, the status button allows me to turn on or off any of the components, and then the drop downs here allow me to control whether I'm using the entry or I'm using it just as an exit. So finally, I'm running a little bit long. I want to spend just a couple of minutes on showing you a simple optimization example. Optimization is a feature of strategy backtesting that allows you to quickly try multiple input scenarios in order to see which inputs have the biggest effect on strategy performance and which input scenarios perform best during the backtest. Now, optimization doesn't tell you which inputs will perform the best moving forward. You can fall into that trap and think that that's what you're looking at here. But this is another testing tool. It's another tool in our arsenal to help us evaluate the robustness of our strategy. If lots of different input combinations are profitable, that can tell us something about our strategy and validate our ideas. So here, to run an optimization, we simply need to set up a series of scenarios with our input. So what we'll do here very quickly is run an optimization on the profit target and stop loss. So here you can see the profit target on this strategy is 4 points. So we enter on MACD, and if the market goes up 4 points, we exit. Our stop loss is 2 points. So let's see if we can refine that a little bit. Remember that our performance on the strategy was $4,500 roughly, based on these rules. So to optimize those profit target and stop loss numbers, I'm going to click Format for each of the strategies that I want to optimize. So here we're going to optimize the amount of the profit target. So I'm going to optimize that in a range from 4 points to 20 points in increments of 2 points. So it's going to test a 4-point profit target, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, and 20. So there's 7 or 8 scenarios there. So I'm going to click OK. And I'm also going to optimize my stop loss at the same time. So I'm going to click Format, click on Amount, press the Optimize button, and I'll set up a set of parameters for the stop loss. Now remember, this is a trending strategy, so my profit target is typically going to be larger. I'm going to have a larger profit than I have and a smaller loss. So I'm going to set this a little bit differently. I'm going to set this from 2 to 10 in increments of 2, so it'll test 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So if you combine all the different combinations between the profit target and stop loss, it's 45 different tests. And I'm going to click Optimize. So it runs through those tests very, very quickly, and you can view all of those tests from the View Strategy Optimization Report. So here, let me change that color real quick. There we go. So here you can see all of the different scenarios that it tested. There's 45 tests. You can see the profit target and stop loss and the amount of profit. So if I double click on net profit, I can see what scenario actually performed the best out of all 45. Now remember our scenario was a 4-point profit and a 2-point stop loss. But here you can see that a profit target of 18 points, stop loss 10 actually performed better. It made more money. It made $6,000. And if we go across here, we can see some of the different performance measures that we looked at in the performance report. Notice here that our drawdown is going to be higher. So we are getting a little bit more profit here, but our drawdown is a little bit higher. So there's always a trade-off. You could also sort on additional columns. You could sort on the percent profitable, or you could sort on average winning trade or average losing trade. So you can sort on any of the columns and see which scenarios did the best. You'll notice the gray bar here highlighting the first choice here. What TradeStation does is when it finds the best performance in the optimization run, it automatically applies that test to the chart so that you can view the performance report without having to change the image manually. So now we're looking at the performance report of the new optimized values. Okay, so that is all that I have for tonight. We are going to be doing this webinar series roughly every 2 weeks. And so we have two upcoming events in April. Radar Screen will be the next one. I'll be doing that one in a couple of weeks. And then our mobile app team is going to be demonstrating some of the advanced features of our mobile apps, both Android and iPhone apps. So please register for those early. I'm going to push my email into the chat so that if you have any questions, I see that Stan answered a lot of questions during the presentation, so thank you very much, Stan. If there's a question that you didn't ask or you wanted to ask offline, here's my email address. It's mburke@tradestation.com. So please feel free to email me, and I'll be happy to answer any of those questions. So Stan and I will stay on for a few minutes to answer any questions that you might have in the chat. And once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Please feel free to email me with any feedback on the presentation or any suggestions on additional topics that you'd like to see here with the Art of TradeStation. I'm also going to push into the chat my workspace if anybody wanted my MacD workspace. It only works to 9.5, so if you're on 9.1, you can save that workspace and you'll be able to use it when you upgrade to 9.5. But I'm using 9.5 right now. So here's that workspace. There you go. So thank you, everybody. And as I said, have a great evening. Good luck in your trading. And I'm going to sign off for now, but I will stick around a little while to answer any questions in the chat. So thanks, everybody. Make sure that you register early for the Radar Screen event coming up in a couple of weeks.